Let's start off by me asking you this hypothetical question. Are you prepared to lose your family, adult children, or lifelong friends to be in a serious, long-term relationship with a Filipina? The sad reality is, for some men who enter into a relationship with a Filipina, it can sometimes come down to making a choice between your Filipina or your family and friends. While some are lucky enough to have very supportive family and friends, many others face a terribly hard time with those closest to them believing the stereotypical hype that's running rife in our communities and families around Filipinas being gold diggers. As I say, not everyone will have this issue, but I can tell you I've experienced it firsthand, and I've spoken to many men over the years in the same position. So if you're thinking of being in a serious relationship with a Filipina, then you need to understand what may happen if your family, adult children and close friends aren't supportive and on board with your choice of women. So to find out more, be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. Often when we decide to look for a Filipina to be in a relationship with, many of us tend to keep the idea of this to ourselves. I guess partly because we're not sure if it will pan out, but secondly, because we know what others are likely to say. Now I know many of you will say, who cares what your family thinks? It's my life and I'll do as I please. For some, this is easy to do, and they certainly don't need anyone's approval. But for others who may have very close and valued relationships with adult children or lifelong friends, this can be more of a concern and something they need to factor in. Often, it's not until we start a relationship with a Filipina and it starts getting more serious do we start to let our close friends or adult children know about what we're doing or planning on doing in the future with this woman. This is where we can start to see our close friends and loved ones go from caring and supportive to the enemy very quickly. At first, they may say, "Are you sure she's in love with you?" Or "Why is she interested in a much older man?" and so on. But over time, as they see you're serious about this, their concerning voice may turn to one of a more sinister tone, and sometimes their words can be very hurtful and blunt. Right here, we soon find out that our closest loved ones also may have the same stereotypical beliefs about Filipinas that many in our community unfairly have. In fact, those closest to us may put the Filipina down before even meeting her, hence giving her no chance at all to see the real her. One must know that once people have made their shallow-viewed mind up, it can be very difficult to change, even if they can see for themselves that she clearly makes you happy. For some like myself, relationships were lost due to some very harsh words spoken about the woman I loved and planned to spend the rest of my life with. And I know I'm far from alone with this, which is very sad indeed. Looking back over the years, I wonder if flagging what I was planning to do by entering into a serious relationship with a Filipina with my loved ones before I actually started anything would have been a smarter move. Now, I'm not saying for me it would have changed the outcome, because for me it's my life, and anyone who can't be supportive of my decisions is not welcome in my life. But in hindsight, getting an early idea around what our adult kids and close friends may think of your plan to be with a Filipina may be a better way to go. This way it won't come as a total shock when the negativity and sometimes nastiness starts, and at least this way we'll be far better prepared. The other consideration in all of this, and probably the most important consideration, is around how those who may have a negative outlook on your relationship will treat the Filipina either online or when she comes to your country. I know for some expats living in the Philippines, they choose to live there because of the negativity family, friends and society have towards such relationships. But for those that have a life with a Filipina in your country, one needs to consider the impact your closest family and friends can have on her. Remember, she'll come to your country not knowing anyone apart from you, so she'll feel very unsure and vulnerable for a good period of time, and she'll be expecting you to be the one to look out for her. You can be sure the Filipina, knowing how much you love your family, can be devastated if she thinks she's the cause of broken relationships. And have no doubt, this can be a super hard thing for a Filipina to deal with. This is where I say a man who brings his Filipina to his country must be prepared to choose the Filipina over his adult kids or lifelong friends if it comes down to it. You made that commitment to look after her, and she put all her trust in you that you would do so. So your word should be kept at all costs, in my opinion, with no regrets. So if you're contemplating a relationship with a Filipina, and especially if she's much younger, have you thought about the implications? Have you flagged your intentions with your loved ones to see their reactions and to gauge their thoughts? And have you thought through what you would do if these very sad things happen to you and your Filipina? If so, I'd love to hear what you think about this and what you've done or plan to do around trying to get your family and friends on board. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.